Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. We're in the Super Duty this morning, somewhere in Connecticut, and we are heading south to just about the very starting edge of Long Island, you know, kind of near the city, to pick up, you already know by the thumbnail probably, a C6 Z06. And I think it's the cheapest one in the country for what it is. And I know I caught some flack in my CTSV videos for, or in the first CTSV video for not revealing the price immediately. So I'm going to tell you right now, I've agreed to pay $15,000 for this C6 Z06. It's a 2008, I believe it's a 2LZ, 36,000 miles, clean title. So obviously there's something wrong with it. That's about a third of market value of that car right now. And it's a big one. Allegedly, it's got a big old hole in the block. Other than that, I believe it's complete, and you know, nothing else really wrong with it. I think the rear bumper has a crease in it. He said it was a track car, so he might have hit a tire wall lightly or something. But anyways, we'll figure all that out when we get there. In classic, you know, Chris Sullivan fashion, I woke up at 4:30 this morning and didn't bother to check the weather. Other than where I lived, and it turns out it's pouring rain. So there's a chance we get soaked right now, but maybe this rain will clear up by the time we get to New York. Either way, we got our cash, we got our trailer hooked up. We're about an hour out right now, so let's get there, check this thing out, get it loaded up. See you guys then. Alright guys, we're here. I don't know what we're gonna do with this trailer. Might have to double park it, scope out this guy's parking lot. I think he lives in a complex right up here, but we'll see. Might be a pain, but we'll get it done. Alright guys, we got the car pushed out of the garage, the guy's garage in his apartment complex there. Super tight in there, but we got it pushed out, got it winched onto the trailer, strapped down, and we're headed back now. We just barely missed the rain. I mean, I got that car loaded up, and as I shut my door, it started sprinkling on the windshield here, and next thing you know, it was an absolute downpour, and it's basically just now letting up. Still raining obviously, but man, we got lucky. But I am 0 for 2 in picking up Z06s in New York as far as dressing appropriately and pouring rain. So we got about 4 hours back to New Hampshire. See you guys then. We'll talk more about the car there. Guess he doesn't like the Z06. Well, we made it home. Okay. 520 miles, 15 miles a gallon. And we hit 20,000 miles in the old Super Duty. Yeah, this thing did work today. She needs a bath now though, for sure. Oh yeah. But we had a good haul. Got some E85 in our tanks and our fuel caddy there. Some Z06 parts, some spare parts. We'll get into those. Also picked up some new garage storage Gladiator cabinets on the way down. Plus, of course, the Z06. So, good haul today. Right, Tucker? Right. Yeah, I got back a little later than expected, so I gotta run some errands right now. Might get to the Z06 a little later. If not, definitely tomorrow morning, but I'll catch you guys in a bit. All right, well, I got good news and I got bad news. Bad news is it's not the next day. It's a little over a week later. You know how life goes. The good news is you guys didn't miss a thing. Z06 is still right here on the trailer where we left it, but I got to use this trailer today for something else, so we got to get this thing off. So let's do a quick walk around here. So to review, this is our 2008 Victory Red C6 Z06. She's hurt, allegedly, but we pushed it out of the garage, the guy's garage in New York, trailered it home, and here she sits. So the story goes, previous owner was tracking this car at Watkins Glen, and the motor let go, and he basically tossed it in his garage, let it sit there for a year, and I was fortunate enough to get my hands on it, and now it's my problem. But let's do a quick walk around. I've noticed there's a lot of clear bra on the car, which is a good thing. This whole front bumper is clear bra. It's got, you know, some tire marks or whatever on it. Same with most of these front fenders. Everything's in good shape. It's got a set of Willwood front disc brakes. I said all this stuff, I think all that is just on the clear bra or probably buffed out anyways. You guys know the C6 Z06 or any car with really wide rear fenders. This area is super common to get, you know, rash on the paint. You can see, hopefully you guys can see this on video. It's got clear bra right there as well. Little bit of damage right here on the quarter, a little wrinkle in the rear bumper. He said he hit, you know, lightly grazed the tire wall or something like that, but I mean, this is an easy fix. Same thing, I think we can save this too, probably heat this up, get that straightened out. That's the only damage really on the entire car. You can see the rear bumper is still covered in oil. I think he blew this thing up, and you know, obviously a lot of that oil and coolant and all that goes right to the back of the car. But it's got a carbon fiber C6 ZR1 extended style spoiler, just like my other Z06. Stock wheels. Yeah, pretty straight, pretty clean car. It's got a C6 ZR1 style front splitter. Some clear bra on the headlights that's seen better days, but again, all this stuff is easy to peel off. So overall, pretty clean car, but I've already noticed something over here while it's been sitting. She's leaking something down there, even though it's been sitting for a year, still leaking something. Yeah, let's pop the hood, see what we can see in this supposedly hurt motor. I honestly didn't even look. Like I said, for the price I was paying for this thing, you know, I rolled it onto the trailer, shook the guy's hand, and we're out of there. It's a good deal, regardless of what we find under here. So there she is, the legendary GM LS7, 427 cubic inches, based off the C5R racing motor back in the day. Basically a Gen 4 LS aluminum block with a massive 4.125 inch bore. I mean, all sorts of state-of-the-art stuff at the time. Forged crank, titanium connecting rods with a special coating, GM CNC ported cylinder heads, completely original to the LS7 intake manifold, you know, 8 to 10 quart dry sump oil system. The list goes on for this motor. It's the highest horsepower motor GM had ever put in a Corvette at the time, before the C6 ZR1, and still to this day, the biggest LS motor there is as far as displacement, 427 cubic inches. Unfortunately, this brand new motor came with its fair share of pitfalls or design challenges, if you will. So go ahead and start the argument in the comments already about the LS7 valve issue, but you know, I know how I feel. I know how a lot of other guys feel. This issue to me is very real. This is not the first car I bought that's been blown up just like this. So, you know, there's guys out there that will still say the LS7 valve issue is not real, but more power to you. Like I said, start an argument in the comments right now and let me know what you think. There's a couple different theories why it happens, why these things drop valves. Most of the time it's the intake valve. Again, state-of-the-art GM engine at the time has hollow titanium intake valves. So a thin, hollow titanium intake valve, and the valves in the LS7 were also longer than any other LS motor, and the guides were still the same length. So you have all this unsupported length in the valve, more side loading because of 1.8 rockers. You know, some people say the concentricity spec on the valves was not right. Some people say the concentricity spec on the guides was not right. Sometimes both. The coating on the titanium intake valves wasn't right. Just Google LS7 valve guides and you might never be seen again. You'll just fall into an endless pit on the internet. So, like I said, believe what you will, but my personal opinion, the LS7 valve guides, they're a problem. Another piece of information that I learned from the owner of this car, I thought the car was completely stock as far as the motor, but he told me it has a cam and the heads were fixed. So I'm not sure what to believe, and there is plenty of stories out there of fixed heads that also go out of spec. So again, just my opinion, if you own one of these cars, you know, fix the heads, and then even once they're fixed, probably worth just inspecting them every season or two. You know, it's a high performance car, it's going to have more maintenance. But anyways, I'm probably rambling. This particular motor, he has not taken anything apart. He told me there's a hole in the block. I haven't seen it. Like I said, it's hard to see things on these cars, but now that I'm in here, I'm seeing a whole lot of splatter over there. I think I literally see aluminum chunks over there. Let's go take a look. Yeah, there is aluminum. That's aluminum chunks everywhere. And what do we got down there? Let me get my light. Oh man. You know, even though the previous owner told me there was a hole in the block as I was driving home, you always have that little glimmer of hope that maybe it's a bad starter or something. You know, you got the deal of the century, but seeing what I just saw right now, I think it's safe to say we need a motor. That's a big old chunk of aluminum. And there's more down there that I don't think you guys are going to be able to see, but yeah, that right there, likely piece of piston or block or something. There's just aluminum chunks everywhere. Also, overflow coolant tank, bone dry. It's never a good sign, but again, we bought this thing assuming it basically doesn't have a motor, so no surprise there. But just real quick, because I think we've determined that the failure was probably on the passenger side, let's peel that valve cover off and just see what we can see. Moment of truth. Let's see what this LS7 has to say. Well, what do we got? Valve, 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 valve. Okay. So all the valves are still there. Let me get you guys in here. You can take a look. See. So here's bank 2, passenger side, and as far as I can see, all the valves are intact. Everything looks good. All the rockers look good. Springs look good. I believe those are aftermarket springs, probably Brian Tooley 660s, so that would make sense, or line up with the cam. Stock style head bolts. They are the factory GM castings. Obviously, we already knew that before we took the valve cover off, but I'm honestly surprised to see this. Typically with destruction like we see down there, there's definitely a hole in the block somewhere. Typically you'd see a valve completely missing, worn through the guide, and possibly even a hole in the cylinder head. So even though there's likely still catastrophic damage, we got to dig further to find out what that is. But I just figured it's a few bolts to get the coil packs off, valve cover off. We could check it out while it's still here on the trailer. But you know what, let me pull the other side off too, just while we're here. So let's check that side out. All right, driver's side, bank one. Let's see what we got. Okay, more of the same, it looks like. I see valves everywhere. No nasty destruction up here yet. All the push rods are there. All right, well, mystery continues. Well, like I said, thought we might find total carnage right there in the passenger valve cover, but we didn't. So thought it might be interesting to see while we still got it up on the trailer, but clearly we're gonna have to dig a little deeper. So I gotta use this trailer, so let's get this thing off there. Once it's off, we can get a better look around to the outside, check out the interior, and eventually push it in the garage and dig in a little further and see what's wrong with this thing. See where that chunk of aluminum came from. I'm very curious.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Whew. That was a close one, boys. Apparently at some point I must have put this thing in neutral and forgot about it after I took all the straps off, and we just moved this thing, and it was really close to rolling into this winch here. I had to basically coast to a stop because I saw it rolling in my rear view, so I'm glad I didn't slam on the brakes or anything. We probably would have taken out the whole front bumpers. Always double check that your load is got the e-brake on or in gear or both before you start moving the trailer with no straps on it. Anyways, let's get this thing down. All right, she is off the trailer. Let's give you guys another quick walk around. Time attack. Apparently he was number 614. I guess here's a couple of the tracks he must have raced at. It's starting to rain now, so I should probably close this up, but I wanted to show you guys the inside. So it's a 2LZ, like I said, which gets you, Bose sound, heated seats, Memory seats, the adjustable column, all that. The 2008s came with a nicer upgraded, basically carbon dipped center console. I think it's got an MGW short throw in it. He's also got these Sparco Sprint seats and harness bar with harness. Let's get in the trunk here. WeatherTech floor mats. I think I have a stock set of floor mats which might fit this car better in the basement somewhere. I was happy I reminded him about these LS7 engine covers. These are worth decent money and look good back on the car. WeatherTech mat back here. Let's see, got anything in here? Nope. C6 Z06, the battery is back here. So there's that. Looks like a Duralast. So nothing too exciting there. Like I said, the back end is filthy, but yeah, nice car. Sparco Sprint seat on this side as well. Interior needs, cleaning a little bit, but other than that, super nice. No cracks, not smoked in as far as I can tell. Everything's here. And by everything's here, he's also included the stock seats. So here's your stock C6 seat. This is actually a kind of rare option, I think. It's got I believe these are called the titanium inserts on the sides. So these are nice. Give those a quick clean. I think we'll put those back in the car because, let me show you. Here's these seats, and here's how you got to get in. Oh, yeah.
Do you hear that?
Yeah. So, fairly comfy, but they are really hard to get into, and they're fixed back, so I'm basically in a 90-degree angle right now. As of right now, I think my plan with this car is eventually to fix and sell it, or fix and flip it. I get a lot of questions in the comments about, what do I do for a living, this and that. I get a regular 9 to 5 during the day, but after work, in addition to working on my own cars, which you guys have seen all over the channel, I do like to buy project cars like this, work on them, fix them, make them nice, and then sell them hopefully for a profit. So this one I think is going to be one of those. And fixed back racing seats, definitely not as an easy sale as good condition OEM stock seats. So I think what we'll do is probably sell these, sell the harness bar, put the stock seats back in here, bring it back to basically OEM in here, and we'll go from there. But obviously we've got major motor problems, so we've got bigger fish to fry at the moment. But yeah, that's kind of the plan for the interior. It's starting to rain now, so I'm gonna close up these windows. Hello, John. Yeah, I'd say we got reduced engine power. I think that's fair to say. But you guys can see odometer 36,828 miles. It's raining right now, but I think it's supposed to clear up a little later. I always like to start these kind of projects with a clean slate, literally. So I like to give this car a wash. There's still tons of oil slick all over the back, oil all over the underside. Let's give this thing a real good wash, and then we can pull it in the garage once I shuffle some cars around and maybe dig into the motor a little more, see what we're in for. Well, even though it's blown up, at least it looks slightly better. So we gave this thing a quick bath. Also gave the truck a quick bath last night. Looks much better. We got all the grease, oil, and stuff off the rear bumper. Gave the exhaust tips a quick initial polish with my method of steel wool, quad zero, and oven cleaner. You can give those a final polish with our final detail, but already looks much better back here. Always good to start with a clean, fresh canvas here. So good quick initial wash. I use Dawn dish soap when I do a first wash on any car that I get, for the most part, because it's going to help to remove any waxes or oils that are on the paint that would later kind of diminish the paint correction results that you would obtain. So it's good to kind of start fresh, get everything off it with Dawn dish soap, and then in the future with maintenance washes you can use the soap of your choice. But Dawn dish soap is good for something like this, especially all the grease on the back. Before we push this thing inside, I think I want to do something about these seats. I'd eventually like to post these for sale and swap in the stock seats. So while this thing's outside, we got plenty of room to open the doors. It's a beautiful October day out. Let's pull these seats out, swap in the stock ones. We'll give those a quick wipe down, and then we can get those out of my garage. I'm tired of moving them around. Put these in the basement until someone's ready to buy them. So yeah, let's grab some tools, get these seats out, and put the stock ones in. All right, so we've got the factory seats back in the car, both driver and passenger. Got the Sparco Sprint fixed back seats out and the planted C6 Corvette brackets. So I think I'll probably sell these separate. These any C6 owner can use and they're easy enough to ship. These I don't really want to ship, so I'll probably just sell these locally, and obviously they're universal. They'll fit in just about any car. I think this is a GM, some sort of airbag harness that was on the driver's side. I'm really glad that it just plugged right into the factory harness, so I didn't have to basically undo this mess. So that's good. Got the harness out here. Yeah, so those are ready to go. I can sell those. Interior's back complete on this thing. Driver's seat is power. Everything appears to work. No problems. Passenger seat in a Z06 is manual, I think almost always. But yeah, driver's seat appears to work fine. But the last thing I want to test is that we don't have any airbag lights. Obviously, all of our factory stuff is hooked back up. So I'd like to get in here and make sure we don't have any lights. All right. You can see our airbag light is down there. It's probably doing a self-test right now. And it's off. Okay. It's an excellent sign. So no airbag lights. We have our seatbelt, fastened seatbelt light on. I wonder if I take this guy. Yep, that goes off too. Awesome. So looks like our seats are complete. Even turned my heated seat on a minute or so ago, and I can already feel the seat getting warm, so we know our heated seat works. All of our lumbar functions appear to work correctly. No airbag lights, no seatbelt light, nothing. So I think we can call this factory seat swap done. Now I can take those Sparcos, take some pictures of them, put them in the basement, get them out of my way. And we have a mostly factory Z06 interior in here. I still have to get this harness bar out, but I think I'll do that a little bit later. But for now, let's push this thing inside, get it up on the lift, and see if we can find where this catastrophic damage is. Well, I know I said I was going to do it later, but I got the harness bar out and 2 panels. I'll probably sew all this together. That way someone doesn't have to cut new holes in their panels there. I'll just pick up some new ones that don't have holes in them. We'll get the stock seatbelts all situated again. Recoup some money there. And we're probably going to need it because I'm sure we're about to find some carnage here. Got this thing pushed in the garage, got it up on the lift. Let's see if we can find something under here. Ooh, right off the bat, tons of oil. You already probably knew that. Don't see anything yet. There's an ATI balancer. It looks like an aftermarket pulley. Ooh, what we got there? Uh-oh. What is that? Block? Piston? Crank? Who knows? Put that aside for now. Where's the hole? Ooh. Oh man, are you guys gonna be able to see that? Man, I really don't think you guys are gonna be able to see that. Well, there's a big old hole behind the AC compressor. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get you guys. I can barely see it, so the chances of me being able to get you guys in there to see it with the cameras slim to none. So let me get out my borescope here and we'll see if I can get you guys a picture. But there's there's a hole behind the AC compressor. Uh-oh. Sorry, this is hard to keep steady here. But yeah, that's a big old window. What is that, the crank? I think I see the cam up there. Phew! Yep, she's done. So yeah, right up there behind the AC compressor is a big old hole. So, you know that whole spiel I went on about, how it's typically a valve drop? I'm wondering if this wasn't a valve drop situation here, because as far as I can see up top, the valves are all fine. Looks like a piston or rod or something or bolt just decided to right out the side of the block. Who knows? But this thing is definitely, typically when something like that happens, it takes out the head, the block, obviously, crank sometimes, maybe the cam, who knows? I mean, if you get lucky, we might have one good head on the other side, but who knows? So that's best case scenario, I think, at this point, is one possibly good head. But yeah, let's get this thing down. I might pull the intake and see if we can look into the throttle body, because sometimes debris will go through the whole intake and then all that's junk too. So, but at the very least, we already knew we needed a motor, but now I'd see it with my own eyes. So let's get this thing down, see what else maybe we can see from the top, and we'll go from there. All right, got the silicone coupler off. Some oil in there. That's not always the end of the world, but let's see in the throttle body here. Get it open. Uh-oh. Yikes. That's a whole bunch of metal. Okay. That's enough of that. I mean, typically you can clean these intake manifolds. We'll see once we get it off how bad it is, but for how much they cost, sometimes it's worth it to just buy a new one, but we'll see. But big old pile of scrap right here is what I'm seeing, unfortunately. But again, we bought the car basically assuming that, and we still got an absolutely fantastic deal for a complete Z06, including the motor, even though a lot of the long block is junk. All the accessories are there, exhaust, catalytic converters, everything is there. So if we can just get a long block, maybe an intake and some other things, I think we'll be in good shape. You guys know me, I like to make a list. Let's go take a look at some of the initial things we gotta get done. I think I need a bigger whiteboard, but if we focus on the red Z06, not to be confused with the black Z06, number one, we need a motor. So if anyone has any leads on an LS7 long block, let me know, because I need one. The rear quarter, I should say quarter, and rear bumper need repair and repaint. This whole thing is going to need a pretty severe, maybe severe is a strong word, but you know, it's got probably 15 years of scratches and swirls. I don't know if it's ever been corrected. Going to need a paint correction. The wheels aren't bad, but they've got some flaking, pitting. Oh yeah, so these are going to need to be redone. I might do black, honestly. If you look at a red Z06 with black wheels and a black roof and tinted windows like this has, looks really sharp. We'll see. Let me know what you guys think. And like I just said, wrap the roof. Really like to do an all black roof. I think it kind of really breaks up these red cars. This is going to break out into probably multiple subsections. It's probably going to be a list more like that. But for now, it's what I got room for. I'm going to have to redo this whole thing, reorganize here soon. But those are the major gotta-dos on this thing. A lot of work needed for this car. Obviously, the whole motor's got to come out, which is kind of a job on these cars. Well, even some cosmetic work to do, the quarter, bumper, paint correction, wheels. Who knows what else we run into. We don't even know how well this thing drives, transmission shifts. Who knows? I'm sure this video is getting kind of long, so I'm going to wrap it up here. I hope you guys are going to stick around for this awesome C6 Z06 project. This thing is going to be insane when it's done. Already has a cam. We're going to keep it that way. Might even add some long tube headers. Who knows what other mods we might have in store for this thing, but rest assured, this hurt, damaged, down on its luck C6 Z06 is going to be showroom condition once again before you know it. In the next video, we'll get started on some of the disassembly here and dig further into the motor, find out exactly what went wrong, if there's any good parts at all, and just see some real carnage. So you guys are going to want to stick around for that. All that being said, thank you guys so much for watching as usual. Hope to see you in the next one.